I would have been in bars making bar bets that I could eat a turd for hundreds of dollars.
And now, Cheese Wits.
You guys, I have some bad news.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Remember last week when we recorded an episode? Remember that? Remember how it was? I'm just going to go ahead and say it was the best episode we have ever recorded, hands down, ever. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Award winning.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Award winning.
Yeah.
So something happened, and I'm gonna go ahead and blame the Windows update and not the random button that was pushed on my mixer, for the fact that audio was unusable.
Hold on. So this was user error and it wasn't a fuck up? Or it was your fuck up?
No.
Maybe somebody
It was Bill
broke
Gates'
into the
fuck up.
house.
Uh-huh.
Maybe somebody just broke in and ransacked the button on the mixer.
Oh, well, of course. I mean, listen, you read about that shit every day in the papers.
Every day.
Every day in the Daily Planet. You look in
Crazy
there.
bitch next door.
Was probably
Crazy bitch next door gets by Jess's 2 dogs and gun to fuck up our podcast.
we hate her.
That cunt.
So we're not going to win that award. I'm just going to.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
we will. Because this show's going to be better.
Okay.
This show will be better.
Okay.
Know what you got for us?
But could I just ask for somebody to also be recording so that we have a backup?
Well,
From
I
now on.
can't do it. Can somebody else do it?
I'm doing it.
Okay, good.
Are you on the
I
phone in your car again?
Let me hold on. Yeah, didn't
Yes,
you
I
hear?
am.
Didn't you hear his seatbelt?
My seatbelt thing was going off.
And
You
it
didn't
went
hear that? Yeah. Yeah. My adventures today took me somewhere which did not allow me to get back to a microphone on time.
Oh, okay. I see.
So I was in Baltimore, which let me tell you, if you want to go to, well, see, now there it is. Okay, I'm going down. I forgot what road it was, but right by the casino in Baltimore. After I'm leaving the place that I was, I'm heading down, and there's 2 or 3 guys standing around with squeegees at the intersection. By the way, it's raining, and they've got squeegees in the intersection. Okay. And I'm like, you know what? I know. Listen. That light is orange at best. I'm going to go through it. The hell with it. And the next light that was actually red, I said, that's orange as well. There are places I was today coming from a long detour that I didn't want to be.
Yeah. I've driven places like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's ugly. I mean, squeegees in the rain at dusk.
Yeah.
I'm stepping on the fucking gas.
I've actually been in New York City, in Manhattan, and stopped at a red light. This was many years ago when I was a young buck, and I could have kicked anybody's ass.
Except for
And
Jess.
I've been stopped at a red light, and had the New York City Police, the NYPD, pull up next to me and go, "Keep going."
Wow.
And just told me, "Keep going." It was about 5 a.m. or so. And so we got to the next red light. We stopped, and my same car, same PD said, "Keep going. Don't stop till you get back on the highway. Do not stop at these lights."
Wow.
And because, I mean, this was before Rudy Giuliani was mayor, and New York, and Times Square was,
a
Mickey
shithole.
Mouse. You're right. It was Mickey Mouse, and then 5 shots of tits.
Right.
And strip joints and that. So it was a different place than it is today. So I understand your malaise.
It's a real shame, because I got to tell you, between you and me, and I don't need Jess to know this, but Wally, I like tits. And I would
like tits.
I would never have guessed.
Stop.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
Tits?
So I'm listening to radio today. Not radio. I'm listening to radio, and the advertisement was for 2 shows on, I believe it was HBO Max. It said, here are the 2 shows they were promoting: Sex Lives of College Girls, or a documentary on Lizzo. I can tell you what, I am not watching a documentary on Lizzo, but Sex Girls, the sex lives of college girls, that might draw me in.
You should watch the documentary on Lizzo. She's amazing.
I don't know that she's not amazing, but for where I am in life, I don't care about Lizzo. I don't care about any singers.
It's kind of gross though. The college girls are they're children.
They are gross.
They're children.
Listen, sex is gross.
Sex is not gross. But watching children,
when done right, it is.
Not to say you, my dear, you've never had sex with me. I assure you, it's
no,
gross.
sir, I have not.
Or me,
or you, Wally. I've never fucked you either.
No, but I can tell you now, it would be gross. There's no redeeming anything with this. It's gross from the time I try to push up on my arms.
Oh my Lord!
and get into a position.
Who the hell's doing that at our age? I'm laying there waiting for the action to happen.
I don't want these mental images. Could you please stop?
Jess, if you keep flapping your arms that fast trying to shut us up, you're going to fly away.
I am going to fly away.
Yeah, and you know what? Something's going to fuck with your button again. That's what's going to happen.
Well, see, that brings us back to the full circle of gross sex.
No.
When you start fucking with your button, something's happening.
Yeah, that's it.
There could be a good thing going on.
But this Lizzo person, who I don't know, who Jess apparently does know who this Lizzo is. I'm a
singer.
Right? Well, that's what I assume. I'm doing my show on the oldies station today, which is turned to Christmas music.
Which is where you will not find Lizzo.
Well, there was a Lizzo song. Okay.
On the oldies station?
On an oldie station because they just don't care because it's Christmas. So I said, oh, there you go. On B106, there's Lizzo's version of White Christmas. And for those of you who don't know who Lizzo is, I don't know who the hell she is either. Hey, we also heard Bing Crosby in that set. I mean, my God.
Life is beautiful.
Oh, my God, you guys.
Life is beautiful.
Life is beautiful. I've gotten too old too fucking quick. It is not beautiful, sir. It just is not.
Well,
says the baby of the group.
I know.
The baby of the group. Somebody said, hey, Chris, how are you doing today? I said, life's taking way too long. How about you?
My outlook a little better than yours today, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
a little better. Okay, here's who I'm canceling today. Here's two alienated possible sponsors.
Okay.
Target.
Right.
I'm in Target today.
I have no use for that little fucking dog. Go ahead.
And I use the restroom because they do have kind of nice restrooms. And I use the restroom for a standing up exercise.
Hold on. Who's jingling balls?
What do you mean jingling balls?
I hear jingle bells.
I think it's Captain. It's Captain Queeg over there with his little. Somebody ate the strawberries. I know someone ate the strawberries.
Or maybe it's the alarm for somebody coming in your house to steal your fucking buttons.
Maybe it is, but I would hope the alarm would be louder.
It could be my cat caller because I'm about to have nasty, gross sex.
Seriously,
it could be my keys in the dashboard. It could be that alarm going off that's sitting there saying, wait a minute, I'm okay with listening to Wally talk about how he shits at Target, but not how he fucks.
No, I wasn't shitting at Target. I peed.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I peed at Target, but I washed my hands. I always wash my hands. By the way, more than half of the men who leave a bathroom do not wash their hands.
I always wash my hands.
I always wash my hands. But here's the thing about Target. I thought it was an anomaly at the first Target. This was a different Target, a new Target. No hot water. Only cold water in the sink. What the fuck is that?
Isn't that like a code thing they have to?
Yeah, that's a code violation.
Yeah.
Cold water, no hot water at the Target. What the hell is that?
Well, while we're talking about the Target, can we go back to talking about the Walmart for a second?
Well, they're cousins. Why not?
They are cousins.
It's like Target lives in is like the privilege store, and then we go to Walmart.
Right. Well,
let's go.
Someone, and I know we've been really hard on Walmart, and we already know that they're not going to sponsor us anytime ever. But somebody who I know who lives in Connecticut posted on Facebook this. The fitting room attendant in the Cromwell Walmart just informed me that no one is allowed to try on bras of any kind. You must buy them and return them if they don't fit. And once you have returned them, they will be thrown away.
Why?
I don't know. And I'd never heard of such a thing. And I wanted to see if that was true at my local Walmart.
Oh, did you do a little investigative reporting? Did you hearken back to the day?
I did. I have audio. Would you like to hear my secretly recorded phone call? I called the hostile Walmart because I figured this would give us an added benefit that you would also get to hear the hostility of the employees at this Walmart,
Great. We get to hear Fight Back with David Horowitz now. You ready for this, Wally?
Well, that part didn't really work out for me, but here's the phone call. Here's how it went.
Thank you for calling your NEF Walmart.
Hi, I have a question for you, and you might think I'm crazy, and I'll live with that. But a friend of mine just told me that you're not allowed to try on bras at Walmart anymore. Can you tell me if that's true?
Well, it was for a time being. One of the ladies that works here in the daytime said they told her to don't let the people try the bras on, and then one other manager said it's okay. So I'm a little confused myself.
My friend also told me that the Walmart she shops at said that you could buy a bra and take it home, and if it didn't fit and you brought it back, it would be thrown away. Does that sound right to you?
Yeah, but well, actually, I don't know if they'd throw it away, but they'd send it back to the manufacturer as a defect.
Oh, I see.
Because it has germs in it.
Oh, I understand. But swimsuits are fine.
I'm sorry?
Swimsuits are fine to try on?
Yeah.
But not bras.
Well, I was told one thing, and then somebody told me just recently that you can still try them on.
Okay. So we're all confused, basically. That means
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye-bye. How delightful was she?
She was very kind and nice and sweet.
I feel like that phone call must have been rerouted to a different Walmart because I've never talked to anybody that nice at the Walmart that I called.
There are two. There's one thing I want to point out at the very beginning of that phone call.
Okay.
Investigative reporter Jess.
Yes.
You put your twang on at the beginning of that call.
Well, she had such a thick twang. Well, first of all, yeah, I did. She had such a thick twang, and I have this habit, and it's not even intentional, that I pick up accents from whoever I'm around or whoever I'm talking to. And so sometimes, because I live in the South, sometimes I put a little twang on.
Yeah,
Also,
my years in Virginia, every now and again, it comes like, how y'all, how your mom on them.
It makes people in the South nicer to you if they think you're not a Yankee.
That is absolutely correct. So how come at some point you didn't say, so under what do you call that space underneath where you get the sweat? You know, the booby sweat?
The boob sweat.
Don't they talk about that on that commercial? There's a term for it. The what's that, Flowy commercial or Fluby or
Lumi?
Juby or the
Lumi?
The Fumy, the stuff
Lumi.
you put it on your taint and you put it on your under titty too.
Under titty. Is that what they call it in the commercial, Chris?
Yeah, that was the exact word they used.
That was the phrase? Yeah. So
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
swimsuits are not okay to try on, or swimsuits are okay to try on, but bras are not okay to try on because apparently
a little crotch sweat is fine.
Crotch sweat is fine. Boob sweat, not so much. There's
Boob
germs.
sweat, not
There's
good.
germs in boob sweat, but not in your crotch sweat.
Oh, well, I mean, girls are pure.
I mean, look, this pisses me off to no degree because I have no idea where I'm going to go get my fitting now. No idea.
Just not at Walmart.
Not at Wally World.
Not at Walmart.
No, you can't go there. I'm sorry, but no man boobs allowed.
Yeah, go get your big cancel stamp, Wally. Here it comes.
I wonder if they would let you, though, if you brought some Lumi with you.
Well, here's
Lumi, not Lumi.
I have not seen a Lumi commercial until this past week. During the World Cup, I saw it. I'd only heard the radio ad. I saw the Lumi commercial.
Was it the one where they're in yoga class?
And
I've only seen the one where the woman's like, "I'm going to spread my butt cheeks right now on TV and put it." Doesn't she say that, Wally?
And she said, "I'm going to show you crack." and she makes these hand motions over her vajayjay,
Right.
and then she reaches back and touches her buttocks. And I can say this with all frankness and candor. Candor, you like that?
That was pretty good.
Did you just learn that one?
I've spent thousands of hours back in the day with Jess in a small space.
Yes.
Thousands of hours we spent in a studio in a small space. It was a small space. Like I guess
It was a closet.
I don't know what you could call it.
It was
Just
a closet.
A tight little box.
I'm sorry, sir.
What?
I hope you haven't spent any time in Jess's tight little box.
Why did it just become a
Let me
12-year-old
take that
boy?
back.
Is that what you
Let
two
me
are doing to
take the
me?
tight little box
God
back.
almighty.
But I have never thought ever that Jess needed, or I've never smelled a woman that ever needed anything special for smelling bad.
Oh, you've never been in a duckpin bowling alley, sir.
Do tell.
Let me tell you, league night, there is every week I would say that I hear at least somebody saying, "Oh my God, who didn't wash their taint?"
Wow.
Yeah.
Taint has become a popular word. Yeah.
Look, why taint it?
I see.
Chris,
what you did
really, you've spent time with Jess in a small room.
Well, our room was a big. We were not in a small box. We were in a large box with lots of room in it.
We were in a small box.
It was like throwing a hot dog in the middle of Yankee Stadium.
Jesus
That's how that room
Christ.
was.
Oh yeah, no, we had a much smaller box, Jess and I.
I see.
And
Jess and I shared a larger box.
but never did. Now I might have smelled bad, but Jess always smelled like a girl. Like,
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Jess smelled
nice.
Jess was somewhere between girl and Marlboro Light. Is that the flavor that it was at that point?
It was Marlboro Menthol Lights.
Whatever.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I've quit.
Yeah, but I
Don't
knew
give
it.
me any shit. I've quit.
Well, I'm glad. Good for you. Good for you. And you know what? You and your taint are better for it.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yes, they certainly. So, Lumi will not probably want anything to do with us.
Yeah, they're not going to.
We've said nothing but good things about those fuckers. Oh, until now.
Well, I guess we really have. We've been. Hobby Lobby. That was my other guy. So Hobby Lobby. Do you guys have Hobby Lobby there?
Yep.
There's might be one. You know what? The only Hobby Lobby I think is close enough to hear Jess is probably Winchester, Virginia. I think that's the closest.
Yeah, I think they're only in the South, I believe.
Yeah.
Chris, we have Hobby Lobby here in Maine?
Do you really? Because there's nothing around like Montgomery County, Frederick County. There's no Hobby Lobbies around here.
So Chris, I guess it was 2 years ago. They were before the Supreme Court because they didn't want to offer women health care that included female reproductive stuff.
Yeah, their CEO thought he was Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Yeah, they were fine with giving men the blue pill. If you wanted to get a hard on, they were good with that. So, Jess, you still might have been fine working at Hobby Lobby. With that big dick of yours.
I would like to know what a blue pill does to Jess's cock.
I would too. It'd be nice to see.
Y'all get me one, I'll try it. But if it lasts more than 4 hours, I'm calling a doctor.
Here's what I found out. We don't work on Sunday because that's God's day. We don't make our employees work on Sunday because that's God's day.
Is that what they say? Just
They
like
work on Sunday.
those fuckers at Chick-fil-A?
Hobby Lobbies aren't open on Sunday because that's God's. That's the Lord's day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've recently found out Hobby Lobby works their employees on Sunday. They just don't open the doors to the public.
Wait, what?
Yeah. My investigative reporting hat has been on. My little Jimmy Olsen press tag has been used.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez, here we go. 7 on your side, Wally. Go ahead.
They work their employees on Sundays, so it's all bullshit.
Bunch of hypocrites.
Day of the Lord stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They make their employees work, and my understanding is they use some pressure tactics to make certain employees work on those
Pressure
Sundays.
tactics? What kind of pressure tactics, Wally?
You like having a fucking job? We'll see you on Sunday, fucker.
Boy, that sounds like an old program director of mine. Like having a job, you're going to do the remote in Aberdeen, you fucker. Okay.
Oh man, yeah. I was never a fan of doing fucking weekend remotes ever. Hated them because invariably you got this. I didn't see but 4 people come up and try to get a sticker for the station. How come you didn't have 400 people here at my store? Because you sell fucking used rubbers. That's why. The store sucks.
Oh, try selling the meat out of the back of a truck. You know, these fuckers come along giving you 20 ribeyes for $40. Okay, guess what? People know the meat has ptomaine. They're not coming.
They also know paper thin.
Last time I had to do a remote, and for people who are not in the radio business, a remote is like a live broadcast when you see, your favorite radio
going
station
out in front of a store,
out on location, broadcasting live from whatever. Last time I had to do a remote.
Prize wheel.
Last time I had to do a remote was in Memphis, and it was at a car dealership, and these guys, it was lightly raining when I got there, and these guys in the sales guys are all sitting inside, basically glued to the window, watching for anybody to pull in that might want to buy a car, and watching me load out tables and big speakers and all of the things. And then when I get the tent set up by myself and the table set up by myself and all of the speakers set up by myself, one of these fuckers wanders out and says, "You need any help there, little lady?" And these guys continued. They never gave me any help. They did ask what I had for free that I had to explain to them was for the people they were hoping I would draw to the car dealership and not for the people waiting around to make money off of the people I was going to draw to the car dealership.
Oh, my God.
They never did anything other than talk down to me, talk about how I wasn't the morning guy that they liked so much who'd been working there for years. And then when it was time to break down, back inside they went. Made me do it by myself again, which is fine. I got it done. I was able to do it. It was just annoying as hell.
I don't know why this woman's here. We were expecting Coyote Calhoun.
Basically.
Oh, well, sorry.
Basically.
Coyote Calhoun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just never liked doing them. I don't, because the expectation is so far beyond what the reality is. And it's even worse now. I can't imagine doing one now.
I don't think a lot of places do remotes anymore.
Well, if they're smart, they don't.
Nobody has any staff anymore.
Exactly.
Well, if they want to really see what radio is able to do and where their advertising dollar goes, it'd be sad to see how effective it really is. Mm-hmm. It's just not that effective anymore. Not the way it used to be. By the way, your nose ring is looking much better. It's not red around it anymore.
Was it red before?
When you first got it, it was red around the circle.
Oh.
I thought you might have ringworm, but no.
Or cocaine, one of the two.
One of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought now or it could have been a tick thing. The tick thing I think is a little round circle, isn't it? When you get the tick bite and you might get the Lyme disease.
Oh my God, I've got a friend with Lyme disease and she's miserable. Oh my God.
That sounds awful.
It has literally, the tick bite gave her resting bitch face. Literally. She's a beautiful girl, smiled all the time, and now it's just the RBF.
Luckily, I already had that, so I'm good.
So Wally, you're right. It could have been a tick.
You'll never know.
Might have been. Hey, how's the moving going? How's the packing going? How's the getting ready to get the hell out of Dodge going?
So I have packed pretty much everything that I don't use on a regular basis.
Yes.
And tomorrow we've got cleaners and carpet cleaners coming. And then Friday we've got the photographer coming to do the pictures. And then my house should be on the market by next week.
It sounds so photographers and cleaners and so much.
It's a lot. But guess what I found out? In Tennessee, you are not required to disclose if someone has died in the house. However, on the property condition report where you fill out, stuff that is wrong with the house, you are supposed to report if there are nuisance neighbors.
Oh, man.
Jesus Christ.
But
good luck selling that place.
Here's what I think. How do I know people don't like that bullshit? I don't happen to like that bullshit, but maybe it's only a nuisance to me.
But has it really been a nuisance to you or just a curiosity?
Bullets?
There were fucking gunshots.
Flying?
Yeah, but it made
that
just
was a nuisance
curious.
to me.
No, they weren't shooting at her. It's okay. Or shooting at her house.
I mean,
It was like show prep, Jess.
we don't know how good a shot he is. Maybe he was shooting at me and just missed.
And
Could
it
be
gave
as well.
you something to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
It gave you stories. It's like it was like show prep,
Yeah.
neighbor prep.
Yeah.
It's nice.
So
that was good of them.
Maybe she's not going to be a nuisance to somebody else.
What about haunting? Do you have to divulge if your house is haunted?
You do not. It's not on anything that I have seen.
I think there are some places that you have to report if you think your house is haunted. I really do think that. I think there are places, if you're selling a house in Amityville, you might have to say, well, there's a possibility a murderous family has lived here.
Maybe some people were murdered here. You don't have to do that in Tennessee. So that's the thing. I would think, no, you don't have to report a house being haunted because you don't have to report that anybody died in this house, and it's only going to be haunted by people who have died here.
Yeah, true. Do you have to report like if a liberal lived here?
No, which is surprising because I do live in Tennessee, and the governor has not put that law into effect yet.
Yeah, I could see that coming next. If a Yankee or a liberal lived in your house, you have to divulge.
And with the house I just sold, I was looking. There was a form down, not a form, a line down at the bottom. Is there anything else you want the new house owner to know? And it took everything inside of me not to want to put down. I took a grand shit in this house in 1972, and I can't seem to get the odor to leave from my grand shit.
It's not a dead body in the basement. It's a grand shit I took 12 and a half years ago.
A grand shit.
It's one that I pinched off
into 3 separate loaves.
It's funny the questions that the way that they word questions that they ask you for stuff. Like we just had to do our open enrollment for, health benefits for the next year. And first of all, there was a whole Zoom meeting about this. And the first thing the woman said in the Zoom meeting was, if you're happy with what you have, you don't have to do anything. Everything's going to stay the same and you can just leave it alone, except your FSA. You do have to re-up for that. So, first of all, why do I even have to be on this Zoom? She then talked FSA, your, what's it called? Something savings account. It's basically like you pre-tax money. They pull it out pre-tax and then you can use it on medical stuff.
Flexible.
So I've never had a job where I was offered insurance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I worked in radio.
Yeah. Well, I had insurance in radio, even with Norma.
I had insurance in radio. Never assurance.
You had
insurance
with Norma?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Was that a choice?
Okay, so FSA, tell us about that.
Okay, so basically, they take money out of your check before they take the taxes out, so you're not taxed on that money. Nice. It can only be used for, they put it on a credit card for you, and it can only be used for medical expenses, and you have to use it or lose it before the end of the year. So I put in a couple $1,000s for this year over, throughout the year. They take a little bit out of your check every month. And so next week I'm going to the eye doctor and probably just going to blow the whole thing on new glasses and get a whole bunch of different pairs because I don't get sick that often and I don't go to the doctor that often. So whatever's left, I have to spend or I lose it. But anyway, so they had this meeting that was basically a whole waste of time where they just really wanted to pat the company on the back by saying the price went up, but they've absorbed the difference. They said it 3 different times and I hung up on the call because I was done. But anyway, I went to do my enrollment today. And for the life insurance, you had to select a beneficiary. And so I was about to put somebody in and the question said, how do you know this person? And I was going to put my sister on there. And I started to like write a story in there just to be a smart ass. Well, she was born in 1978 and I was 6 at the time. And like, how do you know this person? Just ask me if they're related or something.
That seems sort of intrusive, eh?
Yeah. Yeah. That's like, it doesn't matter how I know this person. This is the person I'm choosing to give my money to.
Yeah, some guy I fucked in the production studio back in 1984.
This guy's
right?
dick. I'm going to lose money.
Exactly. I used to suck his pecker under the grandstand at Grand High School.
How do you know this person? It's my dog.
I used to suck the. I couldn't pay her because I didn't have enough money at the time.
I'd like to now.
I sort of owe her. I'm going to leave her money now. Oh my God!
So stupid.
That kind of shit for me is there's intrusive questions that you get constantly, or intrusive advice. Today I was driving through an area, just a neighborhood, one of those sort of planned neighborhoods, and there was a sign, and the sign said, "Drive like your kids live here."
I've seen those.
Run them the fuck over.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, this is part of the fucking problem with kids, that they're not taught to, hey, watch out, some asshole could be driving through the neighborhood. You got to look out for yourself. Be aware that the car weighs 5,000 pounds. You weigh 42 pounds. Mm-hmm. There's a good chance you're not going to conquer the car because you can't be anything you want to be. You're not going to be able to be a car. So I'm driving through it, and I got finger waved at by somebody on the side walking their dog in their fucking puffy jacket and their matching fucking puffy hat in their little umbrella because it was raining.
Were you speeding?
They gave me a finger wag. No, I wasn't speeding.
Because that's what I'll do. I'll yell at somebody because I live on a 30-mile-an-hour road, and people, because it's a straightaway, fly through here doing 50, and I sure will yell, "Slow down!" And sometimes I'll yell, "Slow down, fucker," if I'm in that kind of mood.
There goes that resting bitch face. Now we figured that out.
Mm-hmm.
Ding. Mm-hmm. Not a tick.
It's not a tick.
It's not a tick.
It's for sure not a
tick.
Born with it.
Now, while it was happening, when you were doing your gig work?
Yeah, I was doing a gig work delivery.
What do you do? DoorDash?
No, I did an Instacart today.
Instacart.
I was delivering a few bags of groceries.
So maybe you can answer this for me.
What's that? I
said maybe you can answer this for me because I have a question about people who do that job.
Oh.
Or jobs like it.
I might be able to answer it.
Okay. And maybe this is only in Tennessee because I've never seen this anywhere else. So when I order something from, let's say, DoorDash, because that's who I ordered from last week, the driver pulled, I saw her go past my house, and it's, for some reason, people are really confused, even though there's numbers on my mailbox and on my house, that people get confused. I saw her drive past. She went down to the intersection. She turned around, and then she came up, and she pulled into the next door neighbor's driveway. And then she opened the car door, and she looked at the neighbor's door, and she looked at the neighbor's mailbox and realized she was in the wrong place, and then shrugged her shoulders and got the pizza and brought it over to my door. All the time this happens. Delivery drivers will park in somebody else's driveway, or they park blocking a driveway instead of pulling into the driveway. Do they not tell you guys not to do that? Because that just seems like bad business to me.
No, it's it's the GPS.
No, but they're pulling but if I'm pulling into the wrong driveway, I'm not going to shrug my shoulders. I'm going to get back in the car and pull into the correct driveway.
Right. Exactly.
I don't know, because I don't really deliver that much to those, to that kind of condo areas, things like that. I deliver mostly out in the sticks.
Yeah.
Where people don't put numbers on their houses and they don't turn their fucking lights on, so you can't ever find the house. It's so fucking hard, especially at night, because it's dark at 4:10.
Well, that's actually why I always, when I know I've got a delivery coming and I know they're close, I stand in the front door and watch for them, so that if they were, I don't know, looking toward where my house might be, they would see me, and I'm kind of waving at them because I know which car it is, because it's the one that slows down and they clearly don't know where the hell they are. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I'm right here, And then they go and park in the next door neighbor's driveway.
Yeah, so the GPS lots of times will say, you've arrived.
Mm-hmm.
And you just think, okay, well, let me pull in. And you haven't arrived. You could be, I delivered to a woman 2 weeks ago, and it gave an address. And you don't really know it until you're done with it. And you say, okay, now let's go to this address. And you hit go to the address, and then a description comes up of where you're going. And it gives a description. It says, I'm located in a field across from a white trailer with a fence around it and a brown dog outside.
Wow.
Don't pull into the field because it's too muddy and you'll get stuck. Don't go beyond the big rock with the orange paint on it. I get there and I wait for 20 minutes for this woman. And it's a field. It's a fucking field. She comes out of the fog of this little path. And I'm like, and I reach for it because I carry mace with me. I reach for my thing of mace. Something I'm about to fucking die.
Yeah, that sounds terrifying.
This woman comes out, and all she bought was she bought a battery, a little 12-volt battery that would go into a four-wheeler, and a couple of snacks. That's all she bought. And I said, Jesus, I texted you a couple of times and tried to get all. She goes, oh, my phone's dead. That's why I need the battery. She was living.
Was there a house there? Oh, I was.
No.
Okay.
She was living in a tent
in Maine in December.
Back in the woods. This was November. It was a couple of weeks ago. In the woods. So a tent. I actually didn't see the tent, so it could have been. But she was living in something in the backwoods. Her mode of power was a 12-volt battery that had
Jesus
died.
Christ.
That I think she was probably charging with a solar panel, like maybe a trickle panel or something. If you've ever owned a boat, you'll put like a solar trickle panel on it just to keep the battery alive when you're not using it, so it doesn't completely die, because when it completely dies, it sucks. I'm figuring because the days had changed, she wasn't getting as much sun. And she came out and she looked every bit of, she could have been married to Sasquatch. She was like Bigfoot's bitch. She was rough. I mean, like country rough. She was even for country, she was just country rough. She was just tough. But now that being said, she gave me a $50 tip.
Wow.
Yeah, hello.
All the money she's saving on rent, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know what that
no homeowners association, so why?
yeah, the HOA isn't kicking her ass. Yeah, it's the gig work. It can be a decent kind of thing. Like I gig worked today, and I made $200 in like 5 hours, which is okay, right?
Yeah.
And I was all right with it, and then it's okay. But people can be just assholes.
Yeah.
But you do meet a lot of nice people too. Like you do meet not everybody. The assholes are always. It's just like regular work. Assholes you always remember. You always remember the dickheads in life, in work, in jobs, in driving, in fucking traffic. The dickhead always sticks in your head. The guy who let you, or the girl who let you cut into traffic. You never remember them. You only remember the one that fucking blocks the intersection so you can't get in. You're like, yeah, fucking asshole. But you never go, oh, what a great motherfucker you are. You're the best. You never say that. You always say, cocksucker, bitch.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
You just never remember the decent people in life, which, that's a fault of all of ours, I think.
For sure.
But not us three, just people in general. People in general. Just you fucking never give enough credence to the folks who do you a good turn. You always lament the fuckers who really just piss you off, and then you go get a gun and you get stupid.
But those fuckers are the reason I don't think I could do that kind of work.
Yeah,
like
I
need I have wanted. Well, I have a side hustle, right? I started doing audiobook narration to make a little bit of extra money. And I don't mean to brag, but I got my first check from my first month of sales of the audiobooks that I've narrated.
Yeah.
Y'all sitting down?
Yeah.
$17. That's right. I made $17. Yeah. So
Now, is that
putting that in the new house fund?
Now, wait a second. Now, is it from the first book you narrated?
The first 2 books I narrated.
That's for 2 books?
Yeah, so those are both, I share royalties, so it's a racket. Audible takes they take 60% of the sales, and then the other 40% is split between the author and the narrator if you do a royalty share deal. So there are other deals I could do where, some other books where the author will pay you outright for the time it takes to narrate and produce, and then you're done and you don't get anything else from that. I got no money to narrate and produce. I'm only getting 20% of the royalties of any book sold.
Will you be changing the way you do it?
So it's on a book by book basis. So when you audition for the book, you can see whether it's a royalty share or paid for production. And so the first handful that I did are straight royalty share. I have done one now that's paid for production, and I made $150 on it. And so then I won't make anything when that book sells.
Well, you're not making anything on the other 2 books either.
No, but I'm getting my voice on some, so it is getting me some,
sure.
It's getting me some practice, and it's getting my name in the system so that future authors can say, oh, look, she's done this before. She knows how the quality check works, So it's a benefit, but I laughed when I got that first check and it was $17.
You're so positive.
I could never do that. I'm going to stick with reading 30s that all end in for all your blank needs. Okay.
Well, I did try to submit for something like that to you, Chris, to the people that you do that stuff with.
And they got very quiet on everybody. Don't worry about that.
Okay. Just saying. Because I would love to do those too. Commercials is what he's talking about.
I would love to do those too. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I would love to do those.
Yeah. I heard a new one today at the end of a commercial, by the way. See if you've heard this one or not. For all your sports betting needs.
Did you do a FanDuel or a DraftKings?
It was for one of them. It was Gambit or something like that. Yeah.
Wow.
For all your sports betting needs.
There is a car dealership here in Nashville, and their commercials end with, where we'll trade for anything that don't eat.
I used to do commercials for, but I also used to do remotes for a car dealership that used to have a bear, a real bear at the remotes, and they'd give away a used car at every remote that they would do.
Wow.
They did one a month. That's when I lived in Virginia.
Wow.
Yeah, but it was a used car. It was
Yeah, that's something.
I mean, a used car is better than no car.
We're gonna club a baby seal.
It was
Did
worth.
you ever see that commercial?
What?
The Kill a Baby Seal one? No, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah. The guy's doing his car ad. I saw this on some blooper reel somewhere, and the guy's doing an ad. And he's got a seal sitting on top of one of the cars out there. It's like a 84 LTD or an Aries K car or something like that. Oh. Guy's going, that's right. You come on down here. We're going to club a seal to make a deal.
Jeez.
What?
What the fuck? That's not true, Chris.
Oh, it's what I saw. Seriously. And I can tell you another animal cruelty story since I know Jess loves them. Mm-hmm. My mother told me she used to go to Atlantic City when she was young. So this is, the 1800s. And she would get on the boardwalk, and they would have something on the boardwalk called the dancing chicken. And they were live chickens inside of cages, and you'd put your dime in, and the chickens would start dancing. It was great. Well, I've read up on this. They were electrocuting the fucking chickens.
Oh,
so they would stand there and shock them. And,
God.
That's why they would dance. Up. Seriously, you Google that yourself. Dancing chicken, Atlantic City. You'll see it all.
They were electrocuting the. Oh my God!
I'm calling PETA.
Yeah, PETA. Tell them that they make very, very nice meat. Okay.
I will do
Speaking of PETA, did any of you see this thing about the vegan vaccine?
What?
Yes, there was a report about certain people who would not take the COVID vaccine for various reasons, all the various reasons. But one of the reasons that one group of people would not take it is because vaccines in general, lots of them use egg whites or eggs in the vaccine. You'll see, are you allergic to eggs? Because there's some part of eggs that's used. I don't know the science behind any of the shit, but they made a COVID vegan vaccine and other vegan vaccines that are now the vegans won't look sickly all the time because they'll be able to get a vaccine to take care of whatever it is they need a vaccine for.
Is it made with tofu?
I just
Soy?
think people have gotten fucking batshit crazy. I can't take the vaccine because it's not vegan. Well, go ahead and die. I'll eat your vegan stuff plus my hamburger. I don't fucking get. People have gone. They're just batshit crazy. Well, what the fuck do you think? It's an egg white. Eggs lay eggs. They're not killing. I mean, chickens lay eggs. They're not killing chickens to get the egg.
That's true.
I've got 4 chickens that give eggs. We do nothing bad to them. They roam around if they want. They eat fucking corn that we give them if they want it. They eat bugs when they're walking around in the summer. They eat all the ticks. They're wonderful. They're fucking great. And the turkey chases my wife. I mean, the rooster chases my wife, and I mean, he fucking chases her. And my grandson too. He tries to race the rooster around the house because that fucking rooster is a vicious prick. And he tries to. He's getting older though. He's like 4 years old now, so he's getting a little slower. I still can't outrun him.
I wouldn't try.
So I have a broom. Get away from me, you fucker! Get away. Yeah, he's a vicious. Yeah, but can you imagine that we've gotten to the point now that you need to have a vegan vaccine for people to take it? I understand wanting to be a vegan and not eating meat and kindness to animals and all of that kind of thing. But really, you'd rather die? You'd rather say, no, fuck that. I'd rather die than use any of that egg white in the vaccine to save my life. You fucking kill me now.
I can get more behind the vegan vaccine than I can these cocksuckers running around going, I ain't getting that. That prick's going to give me 5G mind control. I'm not getting that thing.
I had there was somebody I met that she potentially could have been a friend. We got together and had lunch or something. And it's just a disrespect. Like, if you don't want to get the vaccine, cool. That's your body. Yeah. You can choose that. That's fine. I got it. And I was hesitant to get it because, for a while it was like, well, you don't know what the long-term effects of this are going to be. And that made me hesitate. Yeah. And that made me hesitate. But what it came down to was that I was tired of being locked in my house and I wanted to go to concerts again. And so I got the vaccine. And then I got the booster, and then I got COVID. And, all of the anti-vaccine people are like, well, then why the hell do you get the vaccine? You're going to get it anyway. Well, because the vaccine, I didn't die. I didn't end up in the hospital with COVID. I just got COVID.
Yeah, you got a little mild case.
Nobody has ever said that the vaccine is going to keep you from getting COVID. But it does help lower the instances of people who die from it. And it helps lower the whatever. You guys know. Anyway, I'm talking to this woman and she said, well, I didn't get the vaccine. And when my doctor wanted me to get it and I said I wouldn't, he said, if you get COVID, you're going to need to take zinc.
What? I
don't think that's how it works, but
no,
that's between you and your, like, if you, that's all you, like, I didn't argue with her. I did everything in my power to keep my face neutral so that I didn't insult her in some way. I was like, oh,
well, cool. I mean, and she's right.
But then I said, this whole conversation reminds me I need to schedule another booster because I understand that there's another one and you just have to wait like a month or so after you've had COVID. And she went, why would you bother? And I said, well, because I would like to not get COVID again. And if I do, I would like to not die from it. And she said, well, you do what you want, but it seems like a waste of time to me. Now, I didn't give her that kind of disrespect about her choices.
Right.
That's the problem that I have is people who want to be fucking rude about your choices instead of just being like, hey, I think differently. Cool.
So you're not going to be friends with this woman, you're saying?
No, that was the last time I hung out with her. Huh?
Did she get the COVID and die?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I just decided that I don't want to be friends with somebody who's disrespectful to me, so I haven't contacted her since then.
I like those stories. I mean, I don't want people to die, but I love those stories of people who fucking just railed against the COVID vaccine and railed against the people who got COVID vaccines, and they railed on it in the name of Jesus or somebody or something, and then end up fucking dead. And a lot of those guys ended up dead.
And they're in the hospital saying, I should have gotten the vaccine.
Yeah, they are.
Like, a lot of them have gone public and said, I was wrong. I should have gotten the vaccine right before they died.
Or they used the fucking ivermectin to cure it, and I couldn't get it for my horse at the fucking Tractor Supply because they had no ivermectin left because people bought it up because they're using the horse ivermectin for COVID, and then the store just stopped selling it because they knew that eventually they're going to get sued by some dumbass who's taking the ivermectin thinking it didn't cure me and you guys had it. I'm suing you and I'm going to own Tractor Supply or whatever fucking place it is. And by the way, I thought zinc was only good for putting on your nose in the sun.
No, you can take zinc. Zinc, it's actually, I hate to say the old bitch was right, but the old bitch was right. When I got the 5G mind control virus, right? Are you allowed to call it that?
Sure.
And hold on, let me do it. China. When I got the COVID thing,
China.
The three things that they gave me that they prescribed to me was a good blowjob. No, was zinc, echinacea, and vitamin C.
Well, no, those are all immune boosters.
That sounds like a fucking cold.
They're immune boosters, but they don't cure COVID.
No, they don't cure it, but that's what they gave me once I had the vid.
Yeah.
And they sent me home from the hospital after they put me on some bag that might have been in somebody's colon at one point. I don't know what the fuck was in it. and put some antibodies in me, and I didn't know where the fuck I was.
How bad did you get it?
Done with that. When I was laying in the hospital, I said, "Oh, when am I going to get out of here?" And they said, "No, it's not when, it's if." I said, "Oh,
seriously?
What?
Yeah.
When?
Yeah.
When was that?
I was not aware of this shit.
That was last February.
Now, see, I just had it this past August, and I was convinced that there was no possible way. When the symptoms hit, I was like, "There's no way," because first of all, I'm vaxxed and boosted. Second, I have O positive blood, which, at least with the first variant or two, there was actually evidence that people with O positive blood were less likely to get COVID. I don't know if the reason that I got it when I did is because it was Omicron, and maybe that doesn't apply. But it was, my sister first told me that she's like, yeah, O positive blood, you won't get it. I was like, that's some Facebook fake news bullshit. And then I Googled it and found out that there was actually like Harvard studies being done on it, and 23andMe, some of the DNA kits were studying it as well. And it was true. So I was like, when the symptoms hit me, I was like, there's no fucking way I have COVID. So obviously this is bronchitis, which I used to get yearly when I smoked. And so I put on a mask because whatever it was, I didn't need to be spreading it around to people. And I went to an urgent care that says it's urgent care, but it's not actually urgent care. Because when I walked in, she was like, "Are you sick? We don't do that here."
Yeah.
And then I went to another urgent care down the road, and they said, well, did you take a COVID test? And I said, no, because of all of these reasons that it can't be COVID. And she says, okay, well, let's just do that first and rule it out, and then we'll proceed. And then when the doctor came in with results, she was dressed like she was going into, like, what's it called? What's the leprosy? Like, she was going into a room full of lepers. She was dressed like head to toe.
DT and Elliot, right?
She looked like Dustin Hoffman in that fucking movie.
Yeah. And she wouldn't even come all the way into the room. She came far enough in to be able to close the door behind her. And she had the results on a piece of paper, which she held out, like stretched her arm out as far as she could to try to hand it to me without getting close to me. And she said, you have COVID, my friend. And I said, no, I don't. It's been 2.5 years of COVID and I've never gotten it. There's no way. And she's like, it's on the paper. You have COVID.
That's when you want to rip. You want to put a little rip in her little what is that? Whatever that suit is, and go. Oh no, the air's leaking. You're getting the COVID.
Said, no, I don't have COVID, you fucking Neil Armstrong lookalike.
Yeah.
No.
But also by the time I got it, there was a prescription that they can give you that was supposed to lessen the symptoms faster. And it had not, it got emergency FDA clearance. It's called Paxlovid. And as she's telling me this, I haven't said a word about anything other than there's no fucking way I have COVID. And she's going, now it was emergency approved through the FDA, but they gave it to President Biden and he lived through it. And they're not going to give anything to that guy if it's going to kill it. Like, she was going on and on trying to prevent me from arguing. And I was like, you have something that will make this go? Well, I'll take it. Just give it to me.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't care. Just give it to me.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think. But
Chris, that's terrifying.
Jody and I had COVID, though we were never diagnosed with it. We think we got it in October of 2019 or November.
Wow, that's early.
We were knocked down on our ass sick. And then 4 months later, so it must have been December, I was out of a job because of COVID. And I was fucking on my ass for 6 days, and then Jody was on her ass, and it was, and I'm never on my ass. I'm like the typical kind of fucking dumbass guy. I don't go see the doctor. I power through all of it. Oh, it's nothing. I don't need that arm anyways. I just don't.
Just the flesh wound.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
I laugh at all of that shit. I'm fine. No big deal. Fuck it. It's all good. Man, that knocked me on my ass. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure, we're pretty sure it was COVID. But no real proof of it. But I'd never been sick like that before in my fucking life. And that kind of illness that just took me right the fuck out of the game.
Yeah, that was pretty miserable.
Yeah, and we were miserable. And then my daughter got COVID twice after. She had COVID twice, but she lost her taste one time. The next time she didn't, but she tested positive 2 times. My granddaughter had it 3 times. That's
the other reason that I was pretty sure I didn't have COVID. I could taste and smell. I ate a cookie for breakfast that day just to prove I could taste it.
Yeah, not everybody gets that. Can't taste. If I couldn't taste, I'd probably start eating shit.
Well, I could. That's what I was going to say. I was like that, and I thought, okay, well, I can't taste. I got pissed off because I wanted some orange Gatorade, and I had what's her name go and get me some orange Gatorade.
The woman you're going to marry?
It could no. This was long before her.
Oh.
But I forgot the bitch's name. But nonetheless,
is this the pizza box shitting bitch?
No. This is the one that put healing crystals on my chest to remove the hate from my heart.
Right.
That one.
Right.
Yeah.
That didn't work. Okay.
But
anyway,
so I was pissed off because I wanted orange Gatorade. I'm like, what the fuck did you buy me Fruit Punch Gatorade for? She's like, it's orange. I'm like, oh. Well, that's interesting. I'm like, well, if I can't taste, obviously I can't smell.
Your vision too.
Yeah. Well, no, because I'm just laying there in the dark. So cut me a little slack, Jack. But I will tell you, I let out the absolute bomb of farts. I'm like, I'm not going to worry about it. Can't smell it. Well, I was wrong there too. It smelled like I shit a sewer.
See, that's when, if I were in that case where I couldn't taste, like you taste something different, I would have been in bars making bar bets that I could eat a turd for hundreds of dollars. Trying to make money off that.
I think visually I couldn't do that. If I saw a turd sitting somewhere, whether I could smell it or taste it or not, I'd look at this thing and say, well, what cornmeal was that from?
Oh.
And, oh, God, I'm eating shit.
Yeah, but it could be like a turd that was like more of like a constipation turd that looked more like a Baby Ruth, maybe? A little lumpy.
I'm thinking that if you're eating a turd, Wally, COVID is not your biggest issue. Okay?
I would agree with that.
Probably
Yeah.
not. Probably not. But, I'm thinking, not that I would eat turds in my regular life, but in my COVID stupor, without taste, trying to make money after losing a job, why not?
Maybe a hot pepper. Not defecate.
Defecate.
Defecate. Listen to this guy.
I know.
Not defecate. It's not defecate.
Speaking of eating shit, it's almost time to go and eat some dinner.
I'm going to be having chili tonight, so there will be shitting done later.
I haven't decided.
If you
what
look
I'm
at my
gonna have
Facebook
yet.
page,
I did see your Facebook page, Chris.
What's on it?
On my Facebook page, there's a couple of tacos, one with barbacoa, one with chicken, and hard cheese on top of it. And the only caption I could put on it was resolved. Today is not going to end well. And I have not taken said shit yet, but I got to tell you, I feel her brewing.
Well,
I do.
You feel one coming on?
That just means we're going to have to text you later.
That's the reason why I do not drive anymore. I do not drive anymore with the heated seat on.
Because
a heated seat will make me shit in a heartbeat.
It doesn't make me shit, but it makes me feel like I've already pissed. Like I've pissed my pants.
Yeah.
Now, I was going to talk about this frozen dinner that I had the other night, because sometimes I just don't feel like cooking.
Frozen dinner?
Frozen dinner. And
What are you, single?
In fact, yes.
Oh, okay. Frozen dinner makes sense.
And it was like, I don't know, it was Mexican or Chinese or something. I don't know. I was looking at the back of the box to see how long it needed to cook. And it said something like, our chef suggests that after you cook this, you squeeze some fresh lime over it. Can somebody tell whoever wrote that if I'm buying this shit, I don't own fresh limes?
Our chef.
Our chef. I mean, and you got Jess there. You say she's single. Jesus Christ, she's so single. The only person coming over is the Gorton's fisherman. I mean, come on now.
Apparently, she's getting the meals for the hungry man.
Yeah,
you got the hungry woman meal.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, you should get some chunky soup. It's a soup that eats like a meal. Jess, you should get some of that. God, who's coming over tonight? Well, I got the brawny man on the way. He's going to help me clean up. And then later on, I'm going to bed with my friend Ben Gay.
Oh, Lord, Jess.
God.
You can't eat frozen meals. I promise you won't eat any more frozen meals.
I don't eat them every night.
At least buy the fresh ones at the Hannaford. What grocery store do you have down there?
We have the Kroger, or as I like to call it, the K. Roger.
Okay, so
and we have Publix.
That's the K. Roger. Do you have the Harris Teeter?
No. We have the Kroger and the Publix that are close, and Walmart, but I don't go there. And then up the road a piece, we have the Piggly Wiggly.
What about the Food Lion?
Oh, there is a Food Lion up the road a piece as well.
I've always found the Food Lion to be the worst of those stores.
The Food Kitty is not great, and they will not be advertising either. But I got to tell you, their fresh stuff is not awful. If you go in and get a rotisserie chicken, they ain't bad.
Well, that's what I was going to suggest to you. Get the fresh stuff. Get the like pre-made meal they make inside there with like, a little whatever it is, fettuccine Alfredo and a couple of meatballs or something.
Listen, I keep those
frozen.
In the freezer for when I don't feel like cooking. So if it's not going to be this week, it might be next. I don't eat them all the time. I just have them there for those times that I don't feel like cooking.
Oh, I worry about that.
She doesn't feel like cooking. Yeah, days that end in Y, Wally, is when she doesn't feel like cooking. It's fine.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Are you getting fresh vegetables and fruit?
I am getting fresh vegetables and fruit.
I just worry about you. I worry when you say frozen meals. I'm worrying about you.
Well, I appreciate your concern.
I don't give a shit what you eat.
I know you don't.
You eat what you want, girl.
I don't care what you think about what I eat.
You go ahead and eat what you want. Get you a frozen pudding. I love frozen cobblers.
Oh boy, this is so good. I love it. I'm going to head on down to Piggly Wiggly and see what they got on the red light special.
Make sure you take the film off that brownie before you pop it in the microwave.
And our chef says you ought to put jizz on it.
What?
Jesus Christ.
This is why Chris is not in charge of dinner.
Ding.
Squeeze a little of that fluid over there. It'll be good.
Just little bit of that man sauce on top of brownie is what our chef says to do.
You want a hungry man, sweetheart? Here's some man sauce with it.
Well,
enjoy.
Y'all have gone ahead and made sure I'm not going to have frozen dinners tonight because I think I've lost my appetite completely.
Oh.